Coming up.
And they had an opportunity to sell a group of heifers to the movie star Jimmy Stewart. Sold the bull that year for $32,000, which was a lot of money.
In 1970.
1973.
Holy cow.
Yep. And a lot like you, it's relationships, you know. So, that's what we're about. I know that's what Live Ag's about.
That's right around the corner on the Live Ag Ranch and Livestock Marketing We Live It podcast. But first, a reminder. If it's time to sell your cattle, consign your cattle with Live Ag. Our summer auction schedule is on your screen and available at live-ag.com. Consign your cattle now and take advantage of Live Ag's generations of experience in livestock marketing. Now here's your hosts, deCordova and Casey Mabry.
Okay, welcome back to the We Live It podcast here. We are recording here in Boise, Idaho, joined with Wade Perks with Blue Reef Marketing. He's taking Casey's spot today. Casey, he would not fit in the luggage to come on the plane, so we left him back home to take care of the pigs. And then Rob Thomas with Thomas Angus Ranch in Oregon. Yeah. So they've joined us today, and we're going to talk a little bull business today. But we'd like to thank all you out there in social media land and YouTube and podcast land for joining us today. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button too, or Katie will kill me if I don't say that. So, Wade, how you been? Long time no see.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to be on here. I appreciate you guys having me on today. Happy to be in Boise.
Good deal. Rob, how you been?
I've been great. Yeah, I've been great. First of all, thank you for having me on here, Ty. It's an honor, and congratulations to Live Ag. You guys have done a wonderful job, and what a rollout you made. So congratulations to you all.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you and your wife joining us and coming over right off the bat when you had your first sale back. Your sale last was in spring. You had your sale there, and it was, man, what an outcome. I don't know how many percentage of bulls we sold through the program, but it was good.
I think you did about 45% of the bulls going through the ring that day. It was tremendous, and again, kudos to Live Ag. They've done a tremendous job in representing us and Thomas Angus Ranch, and our customers are very fond of you. So we look forward to the future sales together.
Well, let's talk more about that. Kind of give us a little background on how you got started, where you come from, kind of your family background. Let's kind of dive in some of that.
Well, Ty, my parents came from Iowa. They were born and raised in Iowa, and my dad's father was a corn farmer, but my dad always had an interest in Angus cattle. Didn't like the farming quite so much, and wanted to get into Angus cattle. And so, he was in a prime spot right there in Iowa, and lots of Angus herds around him. Escher and Ryan, and some of those great herds were right in that area. And so he had the opportunity to kind of pick up and learn from that. And then he went to World War II. When he came back from that, he knew he wanted to go out and get a job somewhere and work and learn the Angus business. And so he's fortunate enough to get a job with Myron First, which was instrumental in the starting of Ankeny. And so he saw that all happen. Then he went with C.V. Whitney, which is the largest state on Long Island, and so was able to work there and just learn a lot about the breed and everything that it entailed. And so just really was fortunate to be able to have those opportunities. In the meantime, he knew that he wanted to come out west, and they packed up everything they had in a car. And they headed out west and roundabout ended up in Baker City, Oregon.
You said Long Island.
Long Island, New York. Yeah, that's where both
over here and
east. Yep. Total opposite ends of the country.
Talk about vision.
Yeah. Well, and they had blind faith. They never they never thought they wouldn't succeed. So they basically came out with a car and a car full of kids and a dream to make it in the bull business.
Man, that just said something that sent chills up my back when you said blind faith.
Moving livestock isn't just about getting animals from point A to point B. It's about doing it with the care and precision that keeps your investment safe and sound. Since 1987, Agar Transportation has been the name that ranchers across the country trust with their herds. Their experienced drivers understand that your livestock is your livelihood, and they trust each load like it's their own. I've personally used Agar to move my own livestock, and I can tell you, nobody takes better care of your animals on the road. Whether you're moving herd bulls or a full truckload of calves, give Agar Transportation a call today. That's 208-452-5011, or visit agartransportation.com for a quick quote. Agar Transportation, moving your cattle with care since 1987.
First, 5 or 6 years on the West Coast, my dad actually loaded truck for Teamsters and just manual work, but was able to take that money and buy cows and ended up coming further inland to a little town called Baker City, Oregon. Worked for another small Angus ranch, in that area. And then they were able to just kind of start building. And so one thing, built or grew on the other. They bought a really good bull that at that time just, made our program. They had an opportunity to sell a group of heifers to the movie star, Jimmy Stewart. And so he actually came out and picked out the heifers himself. And that kind of gave them the springboard to just expand the operation. And so it was, that hard work. And then in 1973, we had our first sale. And, it was a cold day. It snowed. People were calling to see if if they were going to cancel the sale, and they went ahead and had it. Sold the bull that year for $32,000, which was a lot of money.
In 1970.
1973.
Holy cow.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
that blows your hair back.
Oh, first bull, could you imagine? And they were, at that point, they were showing some cattle and they were doing pretty well. And, calf champions at Denver and just kind of, cruising right along. But their main trade was the commercial cattlemen. And so that's what we built the whole program around. And so, here we are, 75 years, from when my dad got the first bull, and it just the program has grown, but mostly just because of hard work, knowing our customer, and a lot like you, it's relationships. So that's what we're about. I know that's what Live Ag's about, is just having those relationships that really solidify what you're doing, gives you vision.
Talked about you're focusing on the commercial customer, the commercial cattleman. How has that evolved? How have you evolved your program to match their needs? What conversations are you having with them?
Absolutely. Well, it's just conversations. And so it's going on their place, often, finding out how the bulls are working. We're really data driven. And so we do everything from all the genomics. We have a feed intake system on the ranch. We do a lot of feed intake work. We identify the very best, in marbling and profitability, and then we find out which of those cattle really work on the range ground and can get out and travel, because we're in big country, and those cattle have got to travel. And so, and then we take the very best and we propagate those through a lot of IVF embryo transfer. So in a given year, we'll do probably 600 to 1,000 embryos, and that has built this program. So.
Looking to earn a premium for doing things right? At Earth Claims, we provide private, third-party verification services trusted by ranchers and preferred by retailers. We offer the original animal welfare program, Global Animal Partnership, also known as GAP. And now we've added NHTC and Verified Natural to provide the best third-party bundle in the business today. Plus, Earth Claims offers grass-fed and organic programs to propel your access into the top markets and best prices. Our team has over 200 years of combined experience in animal husbandry, and we understand the ins and outs of your operation because we've lived it too. Call us today at 816-652-2004 or visit earthclaims.com to enroll your cattle and start earning more. Earth Claims, rancher trusted, retailer preferred.
Yeah, so I think there's lots of mistakes. There's mistakes every day. One of the big mistakes that we learned early on was watching the show ring too much, and we just felt like we got away from our commercial customers. then it's just forgetting about the details. And so there's always, if you're not correcting, you're probably not observing. And so there are certain things like, in these Angus cattle, we've got to watch feet and legs, and we've got to watch how they can get out and move. But in the same hand, that guy has got to sell those cattle, and it's not unusual, for a closeout of ours to come in, 40-50% prime. And so it's pretty important that these cattle go ahead and do it in every aspect of this cattle business. And so, lots of mistakes. It's just observing which ones you've made. And, we've thrown a lot of things at the wall, and you just try to find out which one sticks.
You're talking about your closeout. So are those cattle, are those Thomas Ranch cattle, or are those customer calves? Where are they coming from?
Those are customer calves. Yep. We try to track as many of our customer calves, as possible. And a lot of them go into branded beef programs, and we're happy with that. But it's, our customers are pretty good about sending us closeouts, and hopefully they're good when they do, but they always send it.
That's the only way you can grow and get better. I mean, and learn and know what's working and what's not is if you get that data back. And that's one thing that a lot of these consumers or customers that get the bulls, they don't understand how important sharing that data with you guys is. And if we can't track the data, then y'all don't know what you're not doing right. So in turn, you don't know how to make it better. So any data that they can send back, I bet y'all are just welcome with open arms.
Oh, absolutely. It's so true, and it's not just the kill data. We want to know what those cows are doing, on the ranch, what their conception rate is, and how they're weaning calves, and then primarily we want to know how they're selling, because that tells us a lot about if they're selling to repeat customers through your video or any other. And so there's so much that goes into this, but to us it's just building that well-rounded package that's profitable, and it's going to tell us a lot about where we're going to be in 5 years. 10 years.
When so you talked about having your first sale in the early 70s. So when is your sale now, and when do you amp up for that?
You bet. We have 3 sales a year. We have one in California. It'll be September 16th, October 16th, 1 month later in Baker City, Oregon. And then we'll have a spring sale, and that will be in the third Tuesday in February.
You're juggling chainsaws then. That's you got a lot. So
one year we had 7 sales. So this is a lot better.
So you're talking about courage and taking the first step. So you guys were having the sale there at the ranch, I assume, and then you're like, okay, we need a second sale, and then you even moved to expand to California. What was the thought process there?
The California bull sale, we had customers that would come up and buy bulls through our sale in October, and it was a lot of what we heard was, we wish your bull sale was earlier, because we like to buy our bulls in September. That's when all the California, and so we kind of looked at it, found a place to have it, and it it's really worked out well. But it's a month earlier. We can't really move that Oregon bull sale up any, just because when people are weaning calves and really busy in the Pacific Northwest, but in California, those guys need to buy bulls in September, and so that's why we moved that one down.
Okay, yeah.
Adapting for your customers, right? That's
absolutely.
Customer service. That's
yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So, got somebody with you today, I seen out there. Guess we should have brought her. Actually, we probably should have brought her on there, the boss lady.
My wife, Lori, she is she's definitely the smarter of us too. And so you would have been a lot better off there, but no, she's my right hand. And, we do everything together. She runs the office, and that's a job in itself. She'll be out shoot with us, and she's tremendous. And I wouldn't also, I couldn't go without mentioning, our crew at home. And so, Clint Brightwell, that works with us very closely, he's a big help, and he's taking care of things on the home front right now. So appreciate everybody that works for us.
Yeah, that's one thing. With a successful company or a successful business of any kind has to have you got to surround yourself with great people. Looks like it's just this successful that you've sure enough done that. So, and a good wife.
Well, thank you, Ty. I appreciate it.
Anything else we need to cover? I mean, anything you want to talk about anymore? We want to talk about?
Well, I guess, I'd just like to say maybe that, this cattle market is one to celebrate right now. We're really in a time that's been blessed to cattlemen and to everybody around. We've been fortunate to be in a breed that actually has done a phenomenal job of just producing what the consumer wants, and that demand has been tremendous. And, Live Ag has been wonderful at promoting that and able to get the product from our customers into the right people's hands that make the whole system work. And so anyway, our hats off to you and everything that you do, because without marketers and without feeders and without, the whole gamut of the industry, we couldn't do what we do.
Ready to grab your piece of Texas? Whether you're buying, selling, or scouting out your next adventure, Texas Ranch Sales is your go-to. They know land and they know how to get it in your hands. From massive cattle ranches to hunting land that stretches for miles, they've got what you're looking for. Their expertise and commitment to the land are what set them apart, helping you make informed decisions every step of the way. So whether you're buying your first ranch or expanding your legacy, Texas Ranch Sales has got your back. Visit TexasRanchSales.com today to get started on your ranching journey. Then head over to TexasRanchJournal.com to sign up for the exclusive quarterly magazine, Texas Ranch Sales. Land is more than property, it's your future.
I'm getting a flashback here of what you mentioned a little bit ago, and you're talking about putting all the puzzle pieces together. Is, we kind of grazed over the fact that you're getting closeouts at 40% prime and whatnot. That's incredible that those cows can go out and be replacements for your customers and go on and do that, but then turn around and also on the feed yard side, you're really getting to have your cake and eat it too. You can add that kind of longevity and productivity out in the pasture, and then they can turn around and do that in the feed yard too.
And that's a really good point, Wade. It is really not easy to breed these cattle that will do everything. But for instance, the Lot 1 bull in our California sale came through feed intake and converted at 4.23 to 1. That's getting way out there. But then you look at his marbling, top 10% of the breed for marbling, good footed, good structured, beautiful bull, and we just keep inching closer to putting all the pieces together that will do everything. And you can't, there's a need for terminal cattle and such, but this Angus cow is so easy to manage. We feel like she's got to do everything, and so that's why we utilize embryo transplant so much, because it narrows it down to a very small percentage of the population that really can do that, and so we really focus on that.
How long have you been doing the feed testing, the feed efficiency testing?
We've been doing the feed efficiency testing for probably 10 to 15 years now, and seeing some real changes. All of our donors go through it as yearlings, and so it gives us a good idea of their feed efficiency. We don't just select the most feed efficient, but we sure skim off that bottom third that just they don't need to be there. And so
it's not just your bulls, your replacement heifers are all going through too.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And so, it's a tough thing to justify because we're sure not getting paid for it, but we know, deep down inside that our customers have to know that eventually that cow is going to consume less feed and produce more. And she's going to be the one that's pregnant and, on the tough years because she's efficient. So that's why we keep working toward it.
Yeah.
We probably haven't paid for the system yet, but we're working toward it.
Well, I always chuckle a little bit, and I'm not picking on anybody in their sale catalog. You open up and read the welcome letters. Our cattle are efficient. They're built to survive. They're durable. It's like, well, how do you know?
You don't, because you'll look at a set of bulls out there and you'll go through their data, and one will be converting 12 to 1 and one will be 4 to 1. and you don't. And that's where we're trying to just narrow that up and find the ones that really are efficient. Unless you measure it, you don't know.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I appreciate about your program. Just saying, well, we can help you cut to the chase.
Yep.
So if they're kind of looking for the September sale, how do they get a hold of you? The website?
Yep, ThomasAngusRanch.com.
Okay.
Call me. Just, however you want to get a hold of us, that's perfectly great.
So if you need a bull in California in September, ThomasAngusRanch.com. What the September
16th.
16th. Okay.
And then October 16th in Baker City, Oregon, and Live Ag will be there in October. And,
CCI in September.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Whitney has done just a tremendous job for us. And so, our customers love Live Ag.
Well, we appreciate you coming over. We appreciate you being on with us. Wade, thank you for filling in for Casey.
I've always heard I've got a face for podcasts. So
well, when he said he was sending you, I was like,
Yeah, I heard what you said about me the other day on here, so I figured I had to fly all the way up here to avenge myself.
Yeah. Well, Rob, once again, man, I've known you quite a while now. I don't remember the first time we met. It was years and years ago, and I've always looked up to you and I always respect what you do, and I've always thought, man, that guy's got it going on. And you and your lovely wife come around. You're always so nice, and you treat everybody the same. You're humble, and that goes a long ways in my eyes. And I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate everything you've done for us, and just can't thank y'all enough for everything. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the We Live It podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you have any questions, hit up Katie at live-ag.com. And tune in next time. God bless.